You may have been to Golden Harvest Farms off Route 9 in Valatia for a bag of apples or a half-dozen cider donuts, but people these days are stopping for something a little different. It's called Core Vodka, and it's made in Columbia County's first ever vodka distillery.
I started working at the Land Conservancy about 9 years ago as a project manager. We do a lot of work with protecting the county's farmland, keeping it open for future farming. But one thing we hear a lot from farmers is, in addition to the challenge of good land to farm, is finding good markets for their products. And that's a lot of where the idea for Harvest Spirits came from, was thinking of what else one could do with locally grown apples.
It's a product from the area, made from ingredients grown in the area. It is made by people who live in the area, and it's sold primarily and consumed by people who live here. So this is not a product we're making to break into New York City's vodka market. We're making this product for a local crowd. So it starts here in this big tank where we ferment things, and this tank is full with 1,400 gallons of hard cider. Now this is a distillery, a pot still. This has been custom made for us in Germany and set up here specifically to make alcohol. It comprises, the components are really the kettle here, the direct column here. Over here we have our tall column, or technically our rectifying column. And finally over here we have our condenser.
When we were looking into different technologies of stills, the question was, how do you heat the still itself? The options are an oil or gas-fired boiler to produce steam, or what we ultimately decided to do is use an electric-powered still, which gives us a little more portability and also gives us the option of using solar power down the road, which is something we want to explore to find some grant funding to allow us to do that.
Right over here, this is an old mustard tank that they used to make mustard with, and we bought it secondhand and fashioned it into our blending tank. We have a water filter system behind us that we put in 60% water to our 40% alcohol, and then we go directly into the bottle. Vodka is not an aged product, so we don't actually need barrels, but it does take about 3 weeks to make a batch. It takes about 3 weeks because our kettle, as you can see, is a lot smaller than the tanks we ferment in. We have maybe 1,500 gallons here and only 150 gallons here. So we'll need to fill this up 10 times with hard cider to produce a batch of vodka.
I think the future for us looks very bright. There's a real movement nationwide for locally grown products and keeping our agriculture viable at a local level. And I think the support is there. We've seen it with a tremendous response to people who are really excited about our product because it's local and because it's high quality. So we're very optimistic about the future and look forward to expanding our product line and working with other farms to produce new products.
To be doing business in this county is incredibly important. It's where I come from, it's where I feel that I belong. It's what I want to support and what I foresee doing in the future. There's no place that I'd rather be than here in Columbia County on my family's apple farm. And for me to be able to create a product from our own soil that competes with the best vodkas in the world, it fills me with an incredible sense of pride.